Tourism or travel, whether as a hobby or commercial, involves an individual or group of people traveling to and staying at places outside their usual environment for leisure, recreation, business, and any other purpose. It is an exciting and pleasurable journey that encompasses a broad range of activities, talking about sightseeing, cultural exploration, talking about adventure, relaxation, or business-related travel. So I have in the studio with me a gentleman and two very beautiful ladies who are going to help us on the topic, Hidden Journeys, Rediscovering Overlooked Destinations. So I would want to start with a gentleman. Kindly introduce yourself to us.
Good afternoon, Jerry. Good afternoon to you all New World TV followers. My name is Naki Kaglu. I'm Togolese born and I've been living in Portugal now for almost 10 years. So I'm entrepreneur and I'm culture enthusiast. I'm here to see my family and see my country.
Okay, very welcome. I'll go to the beautiful lady beside you.
Thank you for having me. I'm Denise Hooks. I am 32 years old and I'm from the United States. I also am a therapist and a world traveler, and I'm here to experience a land that's part of the African diaspora and also within my heritage.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'll take the next lady here.
Hello, New World TV. My name is Leah Kane. I'm 27 years old. I'm African American from Detroit, Michigan. This is the first West African country I've been to, so I'm really happy to have started my journey here in Togo, and I'm happy to be here with you guys today.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was a very wonderful and very brief, actually, introduction. I am very okay with. So, I want to first start with Mr. Naki, and I want you to tell us a little bit about what actually brought you into the field of travel or tourism.
Well, I'm born traveler.
Okay.
I love discovering learning things from different countries. Since my teenage, I would say that I've been even fleeing my house and disappearing. My auntie didn't even know what I was, so I was going and traveling to any part of Togo. I think this passion came back when I grew up and during my journey in different countries in Europe. So I stick on this passion, and this is why I decided also to do different things that are related to tourism. And my newborn project is the one that brought me back to Togo with my beautiful sisters who are here. So that's the main reason why I'm into tourism today.
You're welcome back to the homeland.
Thank you.
So, Miss Denise,
yes.
What is the passion? I mean, you're a therapist.
Yeah.
Is there any link between that and therapy?
Absolutely. We've all been through a rough couple of years previously with COVID, and I think that's when I really started discovering how traveling was something that was very healing for me, and especially rediscovering my own cultural roots and my own heritage through traveling. And so when I started to travel, I started to see the world and see different cultures in a whole new light that was both healing, exciting, and very emotionally overwhelming in a way that is priceless. So I'm very happy to be in Togo.
You're welcome to Togo. So, Ms. Leah, what brought you into travel and perhaps tourism?
I would say ever since I was a little girl, I've always had an inkling towards wanting to travel the world. Togo is the 18th country that I've been to.
Congratulations.
Thank you. A couple of years back, I took an ancestry DNA test, and I found out that I have pretty significant Togolese ancestry.
Okay.
And it was important for me to start my exploration of West Africa with a country that isn't as overly touristy, so I could really get an authentic, unmanufactured experience, and that's exactly what Togo and Naki gave me.
Yeah. So a great thanks to Naki for bringing our
Yeah.
sisters back to Africa.
Yeah.
Even if it's just for a short time.
Yeah.
But I think I have to thank them because the trust, they trust this project and they trust the country, and they took the step and coming here. So it's something that is that's not easy, right? Deciding to come to a country that you maybe never heard about, or you barely heard about. So
This actually leads me to my next question.
Okay.
What was the inspiration to bring them back? I mean, having done your DNA test or having realized you have ancestry back here, it's not like an automatic push to actually want to come back. Somebody might probably just want to go back to their grandfathers, grandmothers to tell them the history, and then they are okay with it. So what inspired the travel back to or maybe in Africa, for example?
well, it's my country. So that's the first thing. I mean, Togo, I was born here, my blood is here. So if I have to travel, if I had to do something in one country, I think the first country should be Togo. And then I can explore other countries. But this one is the one I know the most. Is the one I speak the language from the country. I understand the mentality of Togolese. I understand the food. I understand how I can navigate in the whole country. So yeah, I gave it back to my country by developing something that can allow also other people to know.
Okay, you want to add up to that? Any inspiration why you decided to take on this journey?
Oh, well, from doing Naki's Lisbon tour and moving through that emotional process through understanding the lineage of the African slave trade and where it started in the home of Portugal, I think that I trusted him to take me anywhere in the world after that, because it was just so much information that was so unlocking so many things and so many, from down to like the mannerisms and the African American vernacular English and things like that. So as soon as he opened up this opportunity to come to Togo, and me knowing my DNA being in West Africa, I was like, yes, 100%. I was like, I booked a ticket.
Okay, so Miss Leah, what is your inspiration?
Just to piggyback off of what Denise just stated, I also had the pleasure of taking Naki's African Lisbon tour last year with my little sisters, and it was such a phenomenal experience. I believe in America we have our own version of the transatlantic slave trade that we learn about. So getting to learn that from an African perspective, and also from a European perspective, was very enlightening. And during that tour, he mentioned that he was considering doing tours to Togo, and I felt completely safe with taking his tour and really getting to experience the motherland firsthand with him.
Okay, that is very interesting. I'm sure you've done a lot of tours, you've gone to places already. Maybe someone who is already in Togo. I've been here for like 8 years, so I haven't really gone to all the places yet. But since we are talking about rediscovering overlooked destinations, have you been to any particular place in Togo? I mean, having left the country for long years and back, have you been to any particular place that you want to talk to us about? And how unique did you feel about being at a particular place?
Oh, I can start from now and not finish each thing. Togo is so beautiful, and there are so many things to see in this country, right? But I think I'm gonna leave this question to my sisters, so that they can give their own insight, right?
First of all, every single experience that Naki curated for this tour has been amazing, top to bottom. But also, things that really stuck out to me was going to Togoville and experiencing and being able to sit with the king. It was really cool because he held space for us and he talked about his vision of the future of Togoville, and also the political history, and how colonizers, multiple different countries colonized, and how kind of there was a settling with Germany in certain ways, but there was a settling with Germany in certain ways, and in certain ways it hasn't been fruitful, and how he wants to progress in the future and be more fruitful by Africans coming to Togo and also practicing more spirituality and kind of rerouting in that.
I want you to do some small add-up to what you said. An overlooked destination. How unique was your visit to such a place?
It was very unique, to say the least. Denise touched on the spiritual aspect a bit, and as someone who's always been very, very interested in religion and spirituality, it was very important for me to travel to one of the countries considered the birthplace of voodoo. In America and in many countries of the Black diaspora, unfortunately, we have a very not so great perspective on voodoo and African spirituality, just because of the indoctrination that we've been given. But it was important for me to really see it firsthand and have a better understanding of African spiritual systems. And Togo gave that to me. You know, we got to visit the Marché du Fétiche, and that was very enlightening. I got to see how voodoo was rooted in ancestral veneration and herbology and protection, and it was very it made me feel very good to be an African woman, and yeah, it was just a wonderful experience.
So viewers, we are still on the key point. Today we are talking about hidden journeys, rediscovering overlooked destinations. You can follow the program every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Catch a repeat same time on Sundays. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Manager, come papa.
What's up? Somebody left your bag? Yeah. You trying to say somebody put it in there?
Welcome back from the break. We have Mr. Naki Gaglo in the studios. We have Denise Hooks. We have Leah Kane in the studio. They are sharing with us the experiences they've already gone through while visiting Togo, trying to touch on their roots, have much experience, see things from their own perspective. So moving on to my very next question, I'll start with Mr. Gaglo on this one again. We wouldn't want to sweet talk everything, make it look like everything was so rosy, was so nice, or so fun. But you know, definitely, you are not too used to the African environment. So, what are some of the challenges or surprises that you encountered visiting some of these places?
Well, yeah, as a trip organizer, I think there are a lot of challenges. Like the timing stuff sometimes doesn't really work.
African time.
Yeah, the timing doesn't really work, and also sometimes with the transport. Sometimes even like I would say, as a group also, it's not easy to move as a group. But you know, we are human, and then it's gonna be always a challenge. Yeah, we're gonna try to minimize all of them, but yeah, you need to get ready to face all of these challenges. Well, we are here in February. I think the weather has been also a challenge for a lot of people. Yeah. Although being born here, it's been a challenge for me as well. And I can see with my brothers and sisters in the country, they're challenging with the weather. And okay, yeah, we can talk about the electricity shop.
Oh my gosh.
That is quite frequent, because initially there wasn't that much cuts, but it became too much. I think already today we had like 3 or 4 cuts.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
so yeah, it's been a challenge. And yeah, I always say like I point out also internet, right?
Yeah. Wi-Fi.
I can understand the experience, being always connected and then coming back to a different place and not be able to get to talk to other people, maybe from far. It's one of the difficulties.
So yeah,
any surprises you had? Or
yeah, I think Naki touched on the main ones. I mean, I'll reiterate the heat. I'm originally from Las Vegas, so you know, I grew up in a desert. I consider myself a desert rat, but when I got here, the heat drained me, and I was not prepared for the level of heat, and also like it was a transition on how to take care of my body in this level of heat and make sure I'm drinking enough water and, you know, not getting into heat exhaustion and things like that. So the heat was a huge one.
The heat. So Denise is from Vegas, so she was already, I think, a little bit more acclimatized to heat than somebody from Detroit.
Yeah.
I left a snowstorm in Michigan and arrived to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, but so that was really it just took some getting used to. I think at this point now in the trip that I've gotten used to it a bit. I think I can speak on behalf of most of us saying we've gotten used to it a little bit better. I would say besides that, as a vegan, I think veganism isn't as is not understood in the same way that it's understood in America here. Mm-hmm. So that was maybe a little bit challenging, but it just took a little bit more communication, and I was able to get, you know, my needs met. So, and the food here is delicious.
Yeah, she been eating.
Not as spicy, but yeah, very good food here.
So, having already spoken of the good aspects, I mean, some of the few challenges and all that, someone would ask you why, if you have this experience that is not as suitable to some people, why wouldn't you just go to somewhere that everybody goes to? Maybe Hawaii, I don't know, those other places. So how do you deal or respond to some of this skepticism or criticism about having the inspiration or the desire to go to overlooked destinations? I'll start with you on this one.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't take it as a criticism, but just like adding to what is being done already. Togo is a small country, we always say, but it's a country that needs also to be known, right? So we need to put Togo on the map of tourism on a very perfect, although it's not going to be perfect, but on a very good way, so that people get to know what Togo can offer also in terms of tourism. We may don't have like the same landscape and the beauty of the beaches or whatever like other countries, but we have a lot of things to give you. So I think going to Hawaii is beautiful. Coming to Togo is also beautiful.
So it means any personal experience that you would use to convince someone to not like feel like overlooked destinations are not equally unique or important?
Yeah, I think a huge part is, especially for African Americans, our African diasporic descendant and heritage, and exploring some of the smaller parts of Africa, like Togo, is really important to reconnecting to the knowledge. I mean, a lot of the things that we've done has been connected to the Atlantic slave trade. And so understanding this larger picture of how our ancestors were dispersed is very important. And I also specifically want to speak to women. I think a common misconception is that everywhere in Africa is just patriarchal and that women are being abused in, this narrative. And a huge thing that I discovered when I came here is the matriarchy. Like, whoa. That
the kings,
and that was beautiful to learn about, and Naki is so informative of how this has evolved and queendoms that exist here. And I mean, going into the market, seeing the women run all the small businesses, run the small businesses 10 hours a day, and then be still running their families and supporting their men. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's an idea of how we can understand intersectional feminism instead of the colonial feminism that many of us in the United States are taught. So it's a huge selling point.
I think there is this vast perspective that you've all discovered, not the one you've always been told. I mean, living it and being told is quite different, and seeing it for yourself is equally important.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about what she said? Any additions?
So I second everything that Denise said. I believe in order for us to change the narrative around not only West Africa, but around these smaller countries that we tend not to flock to as quickly, is going to take us as people of the Black diaspora actually going to these countries like Togo and exploring and getting a first-hand perspective on the culture and the food, and I can speak to something Denise had stated about that pertain to women specifically. I rarely feel safe in the United States, but here in Togo I felt incredibly safe, and on numerous occasions I was walking around, I was by myself, but I felt this sense that everybody looks out for one another, and this sense of collectivism and community that unfortunately in the United States we don't have to that degree. And it's wonderful. I'm going to tell everybody I know about Togo and about the tour, and just an overall incredible experience.
So I will start with Ms. Denise on this one. I just want you to give me 2 names of places you visited.
I have visited Peru, and I have also visited Portugal.
What about you?
Do you mean in Togo specifically?
No, I mean in Togo. You can give me in Togo.
Oh, in Togo? Togoville and Palimé.
Togoville and Palimé. Okay, so I'm back to Denise on this one.
Okay, so we visited... you took mine. Well, we've talked about the fetish market we visited.
Fetish, yeah.
We also visited, so many places. What was the village name?
Adeta.
So Mr. Naki, any places you could remember that you took the team?
Oh yeah, Lomé.
The capital is
the capital.
And then we've been to Agudrafo.
Actually, what I was wearing earlier, it was there I bought it from.
Okay. So Agudrafo, we went to Togoville, and we went to Anejo. And then we went to Palimé. We went to Agu first, and then Palimé. Then we went to Adeta, Camina, Atapame. Atapame, we passed through Wahala. And from Wahala, we went to Notre, and then from Notre, we came back to Lomé.
I'm just trying to see, because those are significant places you must have to go if you've already gone. So let's now come to the food. You said she ate a lot, so I'm going to start with her. Remember some of the food she ate.
Oh no.
Describe.
Yes, okay, I'll describe it. I don't remember all the names, but I had recently in Palimé a really good ground sesame seed stew that was really, really delicious. We ate fufu on numerous occasions, and something that I believe is specific to Togo is the fermented corn. What's the
Akume,
name?
if I get the name.
Amakume.
Amakume. Yes, it was delicious. And then there was a really delicious spinach dish that we also tried. But I mean, and of course the fried plantains, but that's ubiquitous all like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the bisap, of course.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So the spinach, is it at Lomé they ate? Or
Okay, we
other
ate
ones?
at Lomé. Even today, we ate at Lomé. But we ate Boma. Yeah.
I mean, those are very important ones.
Yeah.
Do you want to add something?
Any dish with fish was amazing. And the rice fish dishes that with all the spices was great. Everything was very spicy, which was also great. Very different than my diet in the United States. What was the it had the fish and it was like okra, but not the same.
Oh, at Lomé.
Adame.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that was delicious.
So were you able to try chukuchu?
They are not gone yet, so
You need to try that. You need to
Chukuchu,
try
that is,
aliha.
Aliha.
yeah, they tried it now.
Uh-huh.
The one you drank in the market.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now my very last question before you can share any other experiences you want to share yourself. It is, how do you intend to promote the experience you've had to these overlooked destinations or these hidden places that people haven't been to? I think I'll start with you on this one.
Well, I definitely plan on sharing the pictures, the videos, the experience on social media and with my clients and with everybody I know, and being open to answering all the questions, because there's so many misconceptions about Togo, so just being open to the myriad of questions that I'm sure I'm going to get about Togo, and also learning how to prepare some of the dishes and sharing that with other people. I think would be a great window into Togo.
Yeah.
So Miss Denise?
Yeah, we have two self-proclaimed chefs here, so definitely cooking the dishes is very, very important. I mean, we have a bomb bisap recipe that we will all be making when we get home. So that's going to be a big one, but I have a pretty large following on TikTok, so I'm definitely going to be sharing this entire experience through social media, and specifically professionally, I do retreats, and Togo is now my next destination for a wellness retreat.
That's great. That was great.
Yeah.
So Mr. Naki, how are we going to do this often? How do we promote the coming back to Togo, the coming back to Africa?
Well,
I think you already have a project. You can tell us about that.
yes. Well, I plan to to do this every year.
Okay.
Yeah, every year, bringing people to Togo. And she mentioned like wellness, or the project is to have a wellness center here, but that's also going to be educational with an association, and then the support of people, so that we can help our brothers and sisters who are like in the countryside and who are in need of different stuff for education, like bikes to ride and go to your school or whatever. So the idea is to do it every year, coming to Togo and experiencing different stuff, and at the same time feeling like part of this house, part of this country. People have the DNA test made, and they have like a little bit of Togo, they have a little bit of other countries. I mean, we are one, so it's important to take all of this in one and then think about how we can promote it much better. And for me, it's going to be on my social medias as well, on my Instagram and my Facebook. So yeah, and for me, having also New World TV is a way of promotion, an opportunity to send a message to everyone, so that they know what Togo is, and then create like this motivation to anyone to visit the country.
Okay. I think my questions are done. So if you have anything you want to say to anyone, to to tell our viewers? You're free to talk. Do you have anything you want to say?
Well, I just want to thank you for having us here and allowing us to share our experience, and Naki for providing this opportunity. You know, we were talking about this as a group, and this is not a vacation, okay? This is an immersive cultural experience, and it was giving the entire time, okay? So I think if anybody's curious, also, like, Naki is an amazing person that is a great communicator, and you know, with 6 languages that he that he knows, you know, he is able to communicate and explain to you what this experience is. So if you're having any doubts, like, reach out to him, because this is where it's at.
You want to add something?
Yes, I also would like to thank Naki and thank New World TV for having us on, and also a special shout out to the Togolese people for being so hospitable to us, and just being so loving. And yeah, I can't wait to get back.
So, Mr. Naki, what are your last words for us so that we can sum up the program for today?
Yeah.
As for the pictures and videos, I will be putting them on later on. So
Okay. So yeah, I would like to thank New World TV for having us, and thank my people here. I would like to thank also Nyla, who is over there. And at the same time, remember all the others who couldn't come to the station. So thank Rodney, Sean, who else?
Karina,
Jamar, and who else?
no, he got Sean.
Oh my gosh.
Who else?
I think that's everybody.
That's it, right? Okay, so I would like to thank all of them as well for trusting this, and yeah.
Okay, my big thanks to Mr. Naki as well for making this possible, and also to Miss Denise and Miss Leah for agreeing to come on the show for today. I know probably you had a lot of adventures, you might be tired, want to rest a bit, so I don't want to take much of your time. So thank you very much for coming on the program. I'm hoping anytime you are in, we'll be having this opportunity to talk more about Togo, to promote the culture, to expose people to the hidden journeys and the rediscovering the overlooked destinations. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Ashe.
So viewers, the program today was very exciting. It was very fun. We had people from outside Africa who came to explore Africa, West Africa, and Togo in particular. They shared a lot of insights on the program, so you can watch us every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Catch a repeat same time on Sundays. And on Facebook is the KEYPOINT with double I, and on YouTube is New World TV, the KEYPOINT playlist. See you next week. It's a bye.